next. St. Francis Xavier College secures a high school premiership final at NBN Stadium. Badman Best hoping to quickly help the Knights to a victory over the Panthers this weekend. That's coming up next. Xavier College secures a win in the Hunter Schools Premiership Final. Morgan Sibley heads into the next Challenger Series with confidence after winning the Quadruple in Indonesia. And Badman Best crediting his teammate Adam Elliott helping him get back to rugby. First though, St. Francis Xavier College has prevailed in the Hunter Schools Premiership Final, beating Singleton High School 22-16 at McDonald Jones Stadium. The under-18 side will now represent the region at the Country Championship, the Country Cup in Coffs Harbour next month, as Adam Murray reports.
Running out onto hallowed turf, the two best school sides in the Hunter ready to do battle. And St. Francis Xavier soon had Singleton High scrambling in defence. Halfback Mitchell Rogers leaving everyone in his tracks. Scoring the opening try. Singleton got its first attacking chance and Tully Holhurt made it count. The scores weren't level for long. SFX soon back in the lead. But Singleton players didn't let Rogers' dummy fool them twice. And after the break, centre Toby Burley brought the difference down to 2. Teammate Tyler Ward going on to give his side the lead. Both teams traded blows. St. Francis Xavier turning defence into attack. Oscar Wilchett levelling the score. The winner coming moments later.
Honestly, didn't think we were going to come back at one stage. But then our team just dug deep. So full credit to them. Like, all those boys worked hard together. It wasn't just one or two players, it was the whole team.
Rogers crowned man of the match. Adam Murray, NBN News.
Of course, the one you just saw, St. Francis Xavier from Hamilton secured a win over Singleton, 22-16. In the other ones, All Saints College at Maitland secured a win in the under-14s Danny Badiris Premiership, beating Warners Bay 18-10, while Hunter Sports High School defeated Adamstown with a 30-14 win, while All Saints College at Maitland did it again in the Michael Hagan Premiership under-13s 16-8, while Hunter Sports High School defeated St. Francis Xavier 30-0 in the Katrina Fanning under-18s Premiership, and in the Mark Glanville Premiership, which is the under-15s, All Saints College at Maitland defeated Rutherford 38-16. To surfing and Mayweather's Morgan Siblick will head into the next Challenger Series event full of confidence after winning the Pre-Pro in Indonesia. Siblick easily outclassed Byron Bay's Chris King in the final, as Mitchell Hughes reports.
The 5,000-point qualifying series contest, winning every heat on his way to the final. Caius King scored an early 5.5 to put himself in contention in the decider.
Here goes Caius King on his backhand, flying down the line.
But Morgan dropped a 6, then just for good measure did enough with these 2 turns to score an 8.
First turn was pretty good for Morgs. It's going to be 2 and out, gets some drift out of the tail, and he placed that turn beautifully.
To easily claim the title. Siblick is currently ranked equal 10th on the Challenger Series after 2 of 6 rounds. He needs to stay inside the top 10 to reach next year's World Championship Tour.
Feeling pretty tired, to be honest. Today was a pretty long day, and surfed a few heats, and it was pretty warm out there, so I'm just stoked to get the win.
Clubmate Mike Clayton-Brown also had a successful trip to Indonesia, making it as far as the quarterfinals, as did Philippa Anderson, who was knocked out by eventual champion Anon Matsuoka from Japan.
Of course, still in rugby league, and moving on to the Knights, and of course, last year, Bradman Best spent months on the sideline injured, then found himself dumped from the side to finish the season. Now he's back to his best and credits his bromance with his teammate Adam Elliott with helping him get there.
He was one of the first to start pre-season training at the Knights, showing up well before he was required. And for Bradman Best, it's paying off. His 2023 form thanks to hard work and also his blossoming bromance with Adam Elliott.
We're riding off to the sunset at the moment. It's me and him against the world.
Best says he sees his new teammate as a big brother figure.
I just butt heads with him, learn off him, just on footy and off the footy as well. So it's good, they always get me around for feeds and stuff like that, and it's just, we've got something good going on.
A swim at the beach and watching the sunrise, part of their morning routine.
If you go on your own, it's too cold. You've got to have someone to cuddle up next to. So he keeps me warm, the big fella. He's got a good thing going on.
Right now, they're hoping they can help the Knights bounce back this weekend after a subpar performance at home last week.
It's all good to improve, but we know we need to go out there and get the 2 points on the board. There's too many games that we've been in and around. Now it's time for us to start getting results, and I know it's not far off. It's not doom and gloom. I'm really happy with how we're playing at the moment.
But taking on the Panthers at Penrith remains one of the biggest tests in the NRL.
They're a dynasty. Penrith's a dynasty. The way they've played the last 4 or 5 seasons is incredible.
Saturday's clash will also be Phoenix Crossland's 50th NRL game. Adam Murray, NBN News.
There was a lot of heartache for the Newcastle and Hunter Rugby League, and of course there'll be no games played this weekend due to the tragedy that occurred with a Aberglasslyn Ants player taken to hospital and then later succumbing to his injuries. And of course, the player has now at his number 8. Retired onto his shirt as well as on the ground for the rest of the season. Also, they made the decision to cancel round 8 of this year's competition. Coming up, we'll have more local support from the rest of northern New South Wales, including from the Central Coast.
Take advantage of outstanding Audi opportunities during the 2-week demonstrator clearance at Audi Centre Newcastle.
Secure your preferred model with the reassurance of Audi's 5-year warranty. There's never been a better time to bring your new Audi home. Audi Centre Newcastle's demonstrator clearance is on now in Hannell Street, Maryville.
Just 5 years in the making, Avoca Beach is still relishing their win over an undefeated Terrigal side. While they're making most of it, they know the Central Coast Rugby Union title could be anyone's this season.
Teams going head-to-head. The Sharks hosting the Trojans for a back-and-forth battle of the beaches.
Townsend for the corner. Cuts back in. Try Avoca!
You never think you've got to do the day against Terrible. They've been the benchmark for a long time, and they still are. So, I mean, it was a tight game, and it was a good contest throughout.
With 5 minutes left, the Sharks led by just 1 point before Alex Halls found an opening and charged through.
Alex Halls charging forward! Alex Halls with the try wins the game for Avoca! The crowd go bananas, Alex Halls! They call him the Rhino. He's been pretty strong for us, and yeah, he sealed the win.
Breaking a 5-year drought, Coach Jake McPhee is still smiling days later, but knows it might not be the same the next time around.
They won't be as easy the next time around, and I think they had a fair few out on the weekend, so that played into our favour a little bit.
Despite being the only undefeated team this season, they sit just a point behind Terrigal on the ladder, and Avoca won't be taking any match for granted. Taking on the Lakes this Saturday at Hazlitt Park.
The Lakes are tough. They're a pretty quality outfit, and they've been getting better, so I'm not expecting an easy game by any means.
Kickoff is just after 3 p.m. Montana Clare, NBN News.
3 Mid-North Coast schools are one step closer to being crowned this year's Country Cup champions. The teams competed at the regional qualifier for a shot at the Northern State Finals in Coffs Harbour next month.
It was neck and neck between St. Clair's High School and Great Lakes College. The Black and Reds warding off a last-minute try, keeping the scoreline at a draw for the first round in the Country Cup regional finals.
We'll try to improve on our errors, hold the ball a bit more, and hopefully have a better ref.
It's just one of several qualifying clashes at Port Macquarie Regional Stadium today. Teams competing from as far north as Grafton down to the Manning Valley. The under-13s, under-15s and open divisions, all vying for a chance to move one step closer to Country Cup contention.
We have a wide variety of players from this area that represent the North Coast Bulldogs as well, so it's good to see those players in action here today, and also the ones that aren't in those representative squads, that they see a pathway for those older players as well.
Country Cup's a great competition and allows those country schools to come together. It's great to be back here at the regional stadium in Port.
The teams played 15-minute halves with quick turnarounds. McKillop College took out the top honours in the under-13s with a 22-6 win against Great Lakes.
Good start. First game was really intense. The boys fought really hard in the first half.
While St. John Paul College will advance in the under-15s and Newman College for the open divisions, turning their sights onto the Northern State Finals in Coffs Harbour next month, where they'll fight for a spot in the Country Cup champs.
It's a prestigious competition that's been in play for many years now, so it's a great honour to make down in Sydney and play against that city team.
Gemma Pepper, NBN News.
A win by the South Grafton Rebels against the Sawtell Panthers has rocketed the defending premiers to the top of the Group 2 Rugby League ladder. But with just 2 points separating the top 6 teams, the second half of the season is shaping up to be one of the closest finals races in recent years, as Alison Paul reports.
Minutes into the second half, South Grafton led on a convincing 22 points. Sawtell trailing behind on 4. A number of attempts by Sawtell finally paying off, with Jovan Robinson crashing over. Sawtell missing valuable opportunities with several bad passes. But in the dying minutes of the game, Jordan Starr took advantage of a gap in defence, edging his team up to 16 with South Grafton Rebels on 22.
There's some good patches of footy there, and both in attack and defence, but we're just letting ourselves down. We're not building pressure and not getting to the ends of our sets.
Obviously, we're happy with the 2 points. That means we finished the last round of the competition. I think we should be sitting on top of the ladder now. But yeah, I was just it just sort of let the good feeling down. I thought the way the game was handled.
The win sees the Rebels hit the top of the Group 2 ladder for the first time this season. The Ghosts sit just a point behind, closely followed by Whoopi, Nambucca, Maxville and Coffs.
Yeah, really happy. This goes a long way to defending our title, so yeah, it's good to see.
Alison Paul, NBN News.
To Northwest Women's AFL now, and the Tamworth Kangaroos forfeited their game against the Inverell Saints. Meanwhile, the Gunnedah Puchettes are proving their team to beat this season following a win over the Tamworth Swans.
Finding their groove in the second quarter, the Gunnedah Puchettes managed to nab the lead off Tamworth. The Swans women struggling to make the most of their opportunities in the third, as Gunnedah kicked into gear, holding on to possession, keeping their momentum up until the last quarter. The Puchettes' Zoe Palmer nailed this long-range free kick. April Bailey scored her third goal for the match, before narrowly missing another. Gunnedah blew out the scoreboard, kicking a total of 5 goals throughout the final quarter. It's the Bulldogs' 5th win this season, 68 points to 41. Grace Nicholson, NBN News.
The Central North Rugby Union and the Tamworth Pirates have moved to second on the ladder after a win over Walker. The Inverell Highlanders forfeited hand the Brumbies an automatic win, and the Gunnedah Devils remain undefeated after a stellar performance against the Narrabri.
Wasting no time, Gunnedah flew over for their first try just minutes after kickoff. Amori Wakavalagi quickly darting through once more to land his second. Narrabri was struggling to take possession and keep momentum. Going wide, skipper James Parrott piled on the pressure for the home side. As Narrabri started to build, a counter-attack launched by Wakavalagi gave the winger a hat-trick in the first half. Before a missed pass from the Blue Boars saw him flying through for a 4. Penalised for a tackle off the ball, Gunnedah was back, setting the halftime score at 42-0. Buckling down, Narrabri finally put 5 points on the board thanks to Greg Melton. But they found themselves a man down. William Turner sent off for a high tackle. With 20 minutes to go, competition became heated. Narrabri, taking another 5 points, awarded a penalty try, as Gunnedah's Daniel Rourke was sent off with a yellow. The Blue Boars spent plenty of time in the opposition's field of play, but struggled to put any further points on the board. Gunnedah taking home the win, 42 points to 12. Grace Nicholson, NBN News.
The Lower Clarence women's tackle team heads into round 8 of the Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League season undefeated. The side says keeping it simple is the key to victory in this weekend's showdown with Kyogle.
Standing undefeated and coming off a dominant 26-0 win against the Casino Cougars last week, The Lower Clarence Magpies women's tackle team will be running onto the field with the same energy this weekend.
We're working hard every game, being really good, working together.
There's a few fresh faces this season, but they're heading into round 8 feeling comfortable.
It's a bit of a new team compared to last year, so just finding positions that work for everyone.
Captain Raya Kapeen says despite holding the Cougars scoreless in round 7, the team still had their work cut out for them, facing less than ideal conditions.
Because it was night, it was harder to see the ball and a little bit slippery with the dew on it. So just keeping it simple and working together, doing the tackles.
Having only played 5 games, the side sits in the top 2 on the NRRL ladder. And this weekend's match against the Kyogle Turkeys in Byron Bay is set to be a showdown.
We haven't versed them yet, so we're hoping to see what's going to happen, because I think they have a very similar playing strategy to us. So keep it simple, have one another's backs, lift each other up and just have fun with it.
The game kicks off at 12 a.m. at Oaks Oval. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
There were mixed results in the NRRL this weekend, with Balambel delivering a convincing win over Casino. Moolumbar beat Kyogle. Meanwhile, Evans Head topped Lismore and Byron nudged out Mullumbimby. Cudgeon beat Lower Clarence, and in Goonellabah, it was a showdown between Northern United and the Tweed Coast Raiders, the away team claiming victory.
Lining up at Goonellabah's Clifford Park, a showdown between Northern United and Tweed Coast. The slick moves of United's Haziki McKenzie helping teammate Hakeem Terens over the line for the opening points. McKenzie proving unstoppable once more, taking another all the way to the post. United lead 10-0 by the 20-minute mark, before Torrens got the job done in the corner, notching his team's score to 18. Another break from United, this time from Theo Hippie. Come the second half, and it was time for Tweed Coast to make their move. A trick dummy from Joshua Bowden, seeing him weave through United's defence, before a pass to Jaden Martins got the ball down. Soon taking their score to 6, Tweed made what would be their final move, a drop kick to Darcy Earle, doubling the team's score. But it was this run from McKenzie that brought the attention back to Northern United and sealed their win 36 points to 16. Meanwhile, the Lower Clarence Magpies faced off against the Coogin Hornets on home turf. It was the visitors who made an early break, Harvey Mose crossing the line. The score sitting at 14-0 by the 30-minute mark. The team breaking even once more just before half-time. But it was this breakthrough from Hornet Nicholas Andreas that saw the team make real headway, bolstering the scoreboard to 26-0. Dalton Shaw laid one down for Lower Clarence in the 73rd minute, securing the first points for the Magpies. Followed through by a well-timed intercept, the Magpies' Caleb Williams spread his wings towards the line, upping their score to 12. But with a final sting, the Hornets claimed victory, 32 points to 12. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
Of course, I've got Disney on Ice up in Newcastle. That's about it for now.